Welcome to Beyblade Legends, the show where I interview the Beyblade community.
Hi, I'm Kimlin Tran. I voice for Valt from Turbo onwards.
How many Beyblades do you own?
Let's count them.
Oh,
I have them with me every day because
okay.
they're like, yeah, here's one. This one's my favorite if you ask me. Because this was all weighty. I managed to get the stickers on them. Here's this one. That's four. Okay, and then there's this one, so that means that's five up here. Let's see. And I have several more, but they're not open.
Oh, yes. I keep a few in the boxes
I
too.
count the open ones then. So that's five. I'm still looking for Salvage Valtryek, the not Rashad version.
Next question. How often do you actually get to Beyblade?
Not that often. There's no one to play with me.
It's
because of the pandemic.
It's not as fun by yourself.
It's not as fun.
It's still kind of fun sometimes, but yeah.
Yeah. You know what? It was really funny when I forgot my first Beyblade for Vault, and I was showing it off to Mom. I was like, Mom, look at that ribbon. She's like, what are you doing? You're messing up the floor. And I'm like, oh yeah, you're right. You need a stadium. And then the collection began.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people just use like bowls or boxes, whatever works.
I've heard people messing up tubs doing that in sinks.
I saw someone on YouTube making a short doing the Beyblade in the bathtub, and I was like, "Ooh, your parents are gonna get mad."
Oh, good.
All right, so do you have a favorite Beyblade character?
Ooh, aside from Vault, or I get to say Vault and just a next question.
You could say Valt if you truly thought, if you prefer him.
Let's see. It's sort of like every season has a different favorite.
Yeah.
Rantaro is really hilarious, and then they're basically the whole his whole family's hilarious at that point.
Yeah.
I love his whole family. Free just cracks me up, and it's sort of like I think it's sort of like how chill he is that he's funny, and I also like Louis. I mean, sure, I'm just naming the ones across every season, but every season has a different favorite.
Yeah.
But it's sort of like how do I say this? It's sort of like who had Salamander again? It's been so many years. I didn't realize how many years I was gonna work.
I don't remember. I couldn't tell you.
He has the white hair, and every time he gets kind of spooky, he switches over his bangs. So there's that one, and let's see. I like in Dante's season, I like Delta. I actually like Delta. I like Valt's scene with him quite a bit, actually. And let's see. With the twins, I believe Hikaru's the blue one and Hyuga is the red one.
Sounds right. I actually haven't seen those.
I like it when I like the scenes with Hyuga when Valt just jived with Hyuga. So I'm like, Hyuga, you're adorable. I love you. They're just like, we're bam, and they're like, yeah, like good job. And I'm like, yeah, it's adorable. And the season with Belle, I will be very, very honest. I'm behind on watching all the Beyblade episodes.
Yes,
so
me too.
What favorites I do have is probably how do I say this? It's just sort of like I like Belle, but I haven't seen enough of Belle to say he's my favorite yet. Because of my scenes, I like how Valt loves Belle like a lot. But I don't know. I might actually be more drawn to Bashara for all I know. So I still need to watch it. I'm behind.
Next question. Do you have a favorite episode of the anime?
Okay,
I'm guessing they blur together.
One, they all blur together, but the thing is that some of the episodes are the ones I didn't even record for.
Yep.
Like the ones when Sabrina worked on them. And they were in the first season and in Evolution. Like when Wakia got scared of crossing the bridge, and I was like, "Oh, it's so cute! They're all helping him." And then there's, okay, I do have one episode is when Valt fought Hyde, and I think that's his name, right? Inside the dub, he is who is I'm trying to remember. the one who had Phoenix in Turbo, and then Phi's
yeah,
brother.
Phi.
Okay, now they're both voiced by the same voice actor, I believe. And let's just say that when I was recording for Vault at the time, when people are acting really, really well, you jump into character immediately without realizing it. So when he was trash talking Vault, I was all like, "No, you don't say that to me." So I like that episode I like that fight the most.
Okay,
Even
sweet.
though there are lots of good episodes, but I have more favorites here and there.
Do you watch much Beyblade content on YouTube?
Yes, I do. I watch Ilnuk and Zenki's stuff.
Awesome.
They were the ones that kept me in the loop while I was waiting for the first and future Beyblades news to come in.
Very cool.
And
shout outs to them.
And yeah, shout out to them. And there were a few other channels too, but I'm not sure if they count as full Beyblade or a toy channel.
Right.
But they're the ones that went bay hunting. I like bay hunting videos.
Yeah.
Those are fun.
I actually have only been bay hunting like one time ever because I just buy them online. But it seems super fun.
It does seem super fun, but it's also like, oh my god, gas.
Yeah, driving hours.
Especially nowadays, because I'm still looking for salvage Valtryek, and I'm all like, okay, hit up this Target. No, not here. This Target, not here. Okay, how about this Walmart? And then it's sort of like, there's no salvage Valtryek. Where are they? I might have to throw the hat into the ring and say, or throw down my hat or whatever that saying goes, and say, you know what? Yeah, eat my hat and just say, okay, online. I have to get my Valtryek.
Okay, next question from Nick Germain on Twitter. What was the audition process like for Beyblade?
Okay, when I first got the audition, they wanted a voice match to continue the series, but it was a time skip, so they wanted Valt to sound older and not be one-to-one to what Sabrina's performance was like. And for me, I first did everything like what Sabrina did, the best I could. And then they said, hey, you're in the top picks. May you audition again, but make your character sound older and more mature. And I didn't take it as, oh, change the voice. I took it as different energy. And I just had a callback. I got cast. I went to my first session panicking because I'm all like, are they gonna fire me? I don't know what's gonna happen. And I just kept the job and I did it good, and the rest was history.
Fantastic, yeah. Okay. On to voice actor questions. Do you believe that anyone can voice act or that it requires some natural talent?
I don't think it requires natural talent, but I will say it does take practice. And if you like practicing, then that's probably going to be part of the natural part of you. So if you like it a lot, that's going to be your natural thing. But the rest, you have to train it into you. You have to work on your diction. You have to work on your enunciation, have breath control, know how to place your voice in a way that won't hurt you for when you scream "let it rip," like almost for several years until they fix it. And when I say fix it, I mean that before they actually decide to make it a bank or something, we used to say "let it rip" for every single episode. So I was like, yeah, I can do this. But since then, they're all like, okay, let's save our actors' voices. And they decide to make it like a bank. So I was like, oh, okay, that's fair.
Was it a lot easier going forward?
It was a lot easier, but I was still willing to do it.
Okay. All right. Next question from Zelda Padawan on YouTube. Who else have you voiced? Anyone else we could know of?
Oh, in Pokemon Secrets of the Jungle, the Pokemon movie, I voiced for Coco.
I was very excited when I saw that because I knew you were in it.
I am to this day very proud of the fact that a lot of people said, why does Coco sound like Valt? And I'm all like, you recognize me? And I'm also Miss Fortune and Robo Fortune Skullgirls, Fidget and Dust Elysian Tale, Kumiho Cookie and Cookie Run Kingdom.
Fun game, very fun game.
But very addicting game too.
Yes. Careful with your wallet.
And yeah, play responsibly. And there's a whole bunch of other things over the years, but those are the ones off the top of my head. Give me a sec, I'll look it up. Hold on, let me do some hacking or just tapping.
Shield Hero? Weren't you in Shield Hero?
Shield Hero, yes. I'm Keel in Rise of the Shield Hero. Rising of the Shield Hero? I am Keel in that one. Let's see. If you know Snipper Clips, I'm both Snip and Clip. The game that made people very mad at each other.
Oh, I don't think I've seen that. What is it?
Yeah, it was a launch title, Snipper Clips, for the Switch. And you're little immortal pieces of paper, and you solve puzzles by cutting each other up. But the problem with that is that sometimes it takes communication skills to say, hey, can you turn into a key? And I'm like, okay. And you turn into the key the wrong way. And they're like, no, on the left. And you're just like, no, my left. And puzzle solving.
Sounds fun. Is it on PC too? Or just Switch?
No, it's a Nintendo Switch exclusive.
Okay, I'll check it out.
Let's see, other fun ones. I'm in Cells at Work as Young Killer T-Cell or Immature Thymocyte. And I have been working a lot.
Yes, there's a lot. I've seen it, but for the people watching.
If you need, the thing is that I have a link to like my little banners, and it's sort of like you can just all over the place.
We'll put everything to your social medias in the description, in the comments if you want to see more on her. And don't you have like a signing or something coming up for?
Yes, I do actually. For Skullgirls. I will be at Anime Expo and I'll be signing at their booth.
Very cool.
I have to look up where their booth is though. So just to make sure. Hold up. They retweeted it. So that way we can meet. Where is their booth? I retweeted it. There, that way. Oh yeah, table E12 in the entertainment hall. Yay! I think at AX they're also gonna have a Beyblade booth.
Oh.
I don't think there's gonna be a conflict of interest since they're more focused on the Beyblading than for signing there. But it would be really cool to meet, just saying.
Is that in California? I didn't see.
Yeah, and at the Los Angeles Convention Center for the 4th of July weekend.
Sweet, yeah. You guys should get tickets.
I think the cutoff for the tickets to be mailed to you is already gone, but you never know.
Yeah, could maybe buy some somewhere else. eBay?
Maybe. Oh no!
Okay, on to the next question. What inspired you to start voice acting or try it?
Okay. First, I was a fan of voice actors because I just really liked how they portrayed the characters, but I thought I was going to be a writer.
Oh.
Then high school happened and then said, hey, what are you going to do for the rest of your life? And I said, I'm going to be a writer, so I don't need to look up how to be a writer. And then they said, well, you can do a job exploration for anything else. Another person wanted to be a DJ and they learned they didn't like it. So just use that as an opportunity to learn if you like something or not.
Yeah.
So I decided to make mine about voice acting. And I job shadowed a voice actor at a different studio. They had me do Walla, which is like doing a bed of background noises, lots of background characters and stuff like that. And 4 hours of recording later and watching a professional do it better than me, I just said, I want to try it. This is actually really fun. How do I do this? And I learned that acting isn't just being goofy for the sake of goofy. There are scripts, there are directors. There's a process to this. And I thought it was very fascinating to me because I just thought, you know what, if you just practice at it, you can do it. And plus it's acting. If you're shy, you can act like you're not. So
for YouTube, I kind of get a taste of that. Not really, but occasionally. There's a lot of talent and skill that goes into anything media related.
Yeah, if you like something enough, you'll figure it out. And the thing is, that's like, I mean, I learned that I liked streaming, so I tried every little thing to make my own streams really fun.
Yeah.
So it goes to like, oh, and it's a lot of like trial and error. So I'm like, oh, my viewers don't like this feature. Let's get rid of it and
Yeah.
use up this panel or something for something else, that kind of thing. And the same was for voice acting. I've been voice acting for over 10 years now. I used to have a booth in a box with mattress foam in it.
Yeah, I've seen your old videos. I've seen that.
Oh my gosh, it's so goofy. And it's sort of like, it worked for back then, but I graduated to a mic that is very expensive.
Yes.
So expensive, it can hear a spit bubble pop in my mouth. And my digestion. And the dogs next door.
Are you currently using that mic?
Yes. You can probably hear that. It's disgusting.
I did not.
And I'm very far from the mic.
I did not hear
it.
it.
No, okay. You don't want to hear it then. I'm not going to get up unless you want to.
Maybe next time.
Maybe next time.
Sorry. From Andre Burst on YouTube, how do you feel being such a big part of Beyblade history?
Overwhelmed because it's sort of like, wow, it was like, how many seasons? 4 for now? 4. They're out of 6. That's such a big chunk of it, and it's sort of like, I didn't. At first, I thought, oh, I'll just be like a background character that just becomes the mentor, but Valt keeps coming back. And the thing is that he's not just there; he's a mentor to so many different bladers, and he's such a big brother. And it's sort of like, I really like it. I really like it.
It's also like, I think the top 5 selling toys of all time, being a part of that franchise, that media.
Oh my goodness, seriously?
Yeah, I think so. I think Lego is maybe number 1, and Beyblade is like number 5 or 6. Last I saw.
That's still really high.
Yeah.
There's a lot of toys out there.
Yeah. Hasbro's sales are insanely high. I think their profits were like 5 billion this year. Crazy.
You can buy a lot of Beyblades with that.
Yes, you can. All right. On to the next question. Do you watch your own content? Like, can you still enjoy an anime where you're listening to yourself?
Depends. I haven't watched every single thing because there's a lot of stuff out there.
Yeah.
Not to toot my horn and say, oh, I'm in too much of stuff. I'm in too much stuff. I can't watch it all. It's not that. It's more like, okay, you know how I'm really into Beyblade? Not enough to to participate in tournaments and actually win them. I'd be very bad at it. But I still watch like Beyblade videos, and once I'm in something, I'm all like, I want to be good at it. Like for like Final Fantasy Brave Exvius War of the Visions, I voiced for Rafal. She is she only shows up a little bit in the series or inside the story because she's basically one character's not henchmen, but teammates. And then she just says, I want to beat this guy up, and the other person says, stop doing that, and mine just says, okay. And the thing is that I'm in a guild that's in the highest league in the entire game because I am just that serious.
Wow.
So I rank in Cookie Run Kingdom. I am free to play at the moment, and I usually get into masters. So
that game is
show how much time I dedicate to things.
Yeah, that game is pretty generous with free to play, but still, that's impressive.
Yeah. So the thing is, sort of like, I try to get really into the games and media I play, but there's just so much of it, so I can't keep up.
I could tell. From C7 Gaming on YouTube, if you could voice act any character, who would it be?
My answer to this is usually someone new. I like to voice characters I can call my own. I look forward to those much more than becoming a legacy voice.
Yeah.
Legacy voices are really fun, but you also share, and some people compare you, and it sometimes hurts a little when people compare you. Yeah, just a little bit. But when you're someone that you're someone new, no one can take that away from you.
It's true. Yeah.
And if they do, you are the first one.
Next question. Do you have any tips for new or aspiring voice actors?
Let's see. Basic scene study is really easy to learn. It's the who, what, where, when, why. No, the height can actually factor into stuff. And the thing is sort of like who, what, where, when, why. Like, how far away is your scene partner? How tall are you? Do you have to peer up at the person so you make your character feel very small? Or are you very strident because your character is very big chested and that kind of stuff? And it's sort of like you think about everything in that scene. And when we think of every little thing, you fill in the pictures as much as you can. Don't think of it like, oh, I see the screen, I see my character. No, imagine your character in that scene. Like if Valt is in the stadium, well, not in the stadium, that's but not outside
Next
the
to it,
stadium, about to let it rip, then you have to get physical with it.
Yeah.
So that means you have to strain when you do the rip.
I did not think about that, like putting yourself in the situation.
Because the thing is that, okay, here's another, physicality makes such a big difference, all right? So I say, let it rip, and I do, let it rip. It just sounds different, just doing that.
It does.
And it's sort of like, you just get really physical with it. But hopefully you don't knock over microphones while you're doing it. But you'd be surprised that just closing your fists tenses you so much. And it's just sort of like, just sit in one place. And the thing is sort of like, my room looks big on the webcam, but I recorded for at least one season in this room for Beyblade because the pandemic. And the thing is, sir, there's not a lot of space for me to do stuff. So just tensing up your body from your core muscles, from your everywhere. You don't need to exercise, though it would be nice. You don't need to, but it would be nice. You still need to tense up your muscles, and then you just feel it and get mad. Because some people just talk smack all the time on that show.
Yeah.
And there's the physicality, there is scene study. There's a lot of theory that is in the craft that's very fascinating. Like thinking about, am I the character or am I still me? In the multiverse of me, as one person I'm working with described it, I try to think of my character as me. Because there's the suspension of disbelief in theater, right?
Right.
Where the moment you're on stage, the audience says, you're the character. So the character... So the audience already did your job of saying you're the character. You don't need to convince them. You're already the character. So from that point on, you have to embody that character the best you can instead of thinking, oh, what would Valt do? You just think, what would I do as Valt? Instead of saying, what would Valt do?
That is fascinating.
Yeah, and it's sort of like for Valt, there are some moments when he's just perky and happy and everything, but other times he gets down to understand that, hey, sometimes these things don't work out and it's okay. You're doing this for fun. You're not trying to wreck people. You're not trying to corrupt yourself. You're not trying to break other people's base. You're here to have fun.
From Saze Games on Twitter, what was your favorite character or series to voice act?
It's a hard one too, because every single project has a different challenge. And for instance, I like my current favorite is Coco from Pokemon Secrets of the Jungle, because I got to go on a really long arc with Coco in a feature-length film. So I got to see him go from the world before to the world after and everything in between, the highs and lows. Basically what you learn in screenwriting class and acting class, all the theory stuff about storytelling. For Valt, he has this interesting challenge of like, not so much as how do I keep this character fresh, but how do I keep him spontaneous and still willing to learn new things from each of these protagonists that he's mentoring. And the thing is sort of like, so otherwise he just sounds the same the whole time and boring and not Valt. So that one's a very fun challenge too, and it's sort of like, I like Valt, I love him. And then there's also Fidget, basically one of my first roles ever that is on a professional level. And she also went through a huge arc, very huge arc and even though she's just a flying sidekick, if people know Genshin, of course, she's like the Paimon of the game.
Yeah.
So she's sassy one, while the hero makes fun of the sassy one.
I need to play that game.
And the thing is that, oh yeah, and for Fidget, she's just like, I've seen my friend go through a whole bunch of scary things on the journey. I know my friend. If my friend doesn't know themselves, I have to let them know as a friend that I know who they are, and so do they. And I don't think that many people have a VR set, but if they do, I also recommend Ghost Giant. I'm the lead Louis in that one.
Okay.
Not Louis
Sweet.
as in flamey hair Louis, but Louis as in French pronunciation Louis. But the thing is that it talks about depression, and I'm all like, heart. It's a heart-wrenching one.
Those are my favorite stories. Ones that go deep.
Of course, we like to feel.
Yes. Okay. What's the biggest challenge you faced as a voice actress? Or perhaps all of the voice acting community, if you prefer?
Let's see. Biggest challenges. My biggest challenges aren't necessarily limited to being an actor, it's being a person. Because that's a challenge that everybody goes through.
Yes.
My challenge is being a person because as someone... Okay, there was one role I was a co-star in a long time ago for a pilot, and it was for something very big. And I was worried I was going to be recast one day, and I was like fretting over and over. I was just like, oh no, like, what if I don't get this role? What will happen? And then what happened was that my other co-star, who was on the same production as me, also in the pilot, said, well, when you got these big roles before this big role, did it change your life any? And I said, no, I still feel depressed. I still feel upset, and I am still scared and anxious. And then my co-star said, you know what? I don't think this role will change your life either if this is how you feel. So I had to do a lot of self-searching, a lot of therapy, and it's sort of like it made me a better actor to be able to experience life in all these different ways and see things from different perspectives. And the bigger challenges is just basically self-introspection.
On to off-topic questions. Your all-time favorite cartoon or anime, even if you're not a part of it.
Princess Tutu. Princess Tutu is a really old... Yeah, Princess Tutu is a really old one. And I remember when I watched that anime, I was feeling like, you know what, I want to quit voice acting again. Again, it happens a lot. And I don't know what I contribute to this world, even if I did get these roles. But the thing is that it was such a wonderful story about, it's about defying fate, and there are lots of themes in that series. And
defying fate, could you go further into that?
Defying fate. Okay. May those who let me find it, the quote. The quote is really good. Because there's one theme that is very big. May those who follow their fate be granted happiness. May those who defy it be granted glory. And it's such a recurring theme in Princess Tutu because there lots of people say Madoka Magica changed everything about what it means to be a magical girl. I'm like, no, Princess Tutu did it before Madoka Magica. They were talking about what does it mean to it isn't so much as, oh no, what does it mean to be a hero? But it's more about what does it mean to follow these expectations you have. The ones that people set for you. Oh. And it gets really weird, but it's really cool at the same time. It also gets meta. And I'm like, huh. And it's one of those things that I don't want to spoil too much, aside from, come on, if you like Madoka Magica, you'll like this. You don't need to have blood and gore all over the place for things to be edgy. So it's sort of like, do you want to win it big, or do you just want to play it safe? That's spooky stuff.
Yeah, it is.
That's spooky stuff.
Something to think about. From Z Wondrous Cinderburst on YouTube, if you could only eat one, which would it be? Beyblade or Shoes Spaghetti?
No!
Only one.
That's a hard one! Only one?
Yep.
Oh, and they're both. Oh my gosh. Okay, maybe Shoe Spaghetti. Beyblade is really good for you, but spaghetti is probably better for you.
Shout out to
I mean-
Noelle Churchill, who made Shoes Spaghetti on their VTuber channel, and it looked delicious.
Oh my god, I
Very
have to
cool.
see that now.
Yeah. Noelle Churchill.
Noelle Churchill.
Mhm. From Saze Games on YouTube, if you could have a superpower, what would it be?
Reality warping. That's one's it's broken, but that's the point. Go for the best one.
Yep.
Reality bending, reality warping.
Like Thanos.
Sure, why not? It's sort of like I'm like, oh, okay. You know what's even stronger than reality warping and reality bending? Probability bending. But that's a little too hard for me. That's a little too scary.
Like that Luck girl in Deadpool. What's her name?
I think so, because the thing is that you have to bend everything around the one thing you want to get the thing you want.
Mhm.
But if you do all that, then that means you just controlled fate. You didn't control whether something exists or not. You controlled the odds of it happening, and it's sort of like that's scary. That's so people who say that reality bending is the powerful one, I'm like, yeah, their probability is a lot stronger if you think about it.
I will have to think about that some more. I'm not totally convinced, but I could kind of see it.
Mm-hmm.
What is your most played video game?
Oh, like, wow, that's a hard one because it's sort of like I have a lot of hours in Monster Hunter World, but I also have a lot of hours in Pokemon Legends Arceus, and a lot of hours in Cozy Grove. Maybe too many hours in a lot of mobile games. Dang, I don't know, because when I say a lot, I mean over 200 each, easily. I think I was able to clock like 400 plus on Skyrim, but that was a long time ago.
Skyrim will do that when you discover it.
Yeah.
I think I played it like 3 days straight almost. Like I would sleep and eat, but...
No!
What do you enjoy most about streaming on Twitch?
Oh, that was a lot of fun. Just hanging out with people, experiencing things together, just having company. Like,
Yeah.
Here's the thing. It's sort of like you're in the same room together, watching the same game being played, and you're just experiencing the same thing together, and you just have extra bells and whistles to make it fun.
Yeah. You could put on a show, you could interact back and forth. Super fun.
Yeah, and the thing is sort of like it's less about doing what's popular and doing what's fun for you.
Hmm.
So I started Twitch many years ago with nothing but hidden object games. I've since expanded since then. And if it wasn't fun, I wouldn't be doing it, right? So people just kept coming by because they're all like, oh, you're playing a hidden object game. That looks fun. And I'm like, I'm making it fun too. And they just stayed around.
Did you ever find it challenging to not be introverted when you're streaming, or did that just come naturally to talk all the time and interact?
It took practice. At first, I was just like, oh, I'm focusing too much, or there's too few people in the room. But the thing is, after a while, I realized I have a lot to say. And the thing is, sort of like, if you like a thing enough, you'll get better at it. And I just got better at expressing myself.
Very cool. Yeah. I think it's very healthy as well to express yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, on to the final question I have for you. And it's a mysterious one. Do you believe words and voices hold power?
Yes, that's an easy one. Because the thing is that it's sort of like we use it as a means of communication.
Yes.
And we use these different combinations of phonemes and consonants to communicate lots of ideas and use them as catalysts for understanding. I'm using weird words, but it's sort of like there is a whole major, like the communications major in college, that talk about theory about communication. Like, do you have to meet them halfway? Do you have to understand the vocabulary of the other person to use the same vocabulary for them to understand you. They have so many ideas about this, and it's sort of like, it's fascinating on how we can communicate all these emotions that we have, all these ideas and abstract thoughts to each other, just because we found the right words that just, oh, so that's what that word means to each other. And we are still learning because words change over time. They change connotations, they change forms, they become slang, and they just keep changing, and that's the coolest thing ever, I think. Like, people are even studying like internet language right now. No joke.
Yeah.
Scholars, they're writing theses about how we can communicate, whether we're sarcastic or not, on whether or not we capitalize words. And when you really think about it, it's really cool. And we are just writing the way that we talk, and that's really cool.
Oh yeah, I could see that. That's probably my favorite answer that you've given out of all of these.
Aww.
But thank you so much for joining me today. It's been a pleasure. It's been awesome interviewing a crucial part of Beyblade history. Where can the people find you online? Your social medias.
Let's see. I have one link that holds all the links. Let me get the link for you. Hnilmic.carrd.co. Hnilmic.card.co. And they have a lot of links on there.
Mm-hmm. Just like link trees or other services. We'll post that in the comments. Do you want to shout out anyone else before we end? Maybe friends or projects people are working on?
Let's see. That's a hard one because people are working on so many things I can't talk about them. Erica Harlocker, Dante, hug when it's safe. Jade, Hyuga, no what? Hikaru, hug. Jade Dennis, hug. Morgan Berry, Belle, hug. Ryan Bartley for Hyuga. There we go. Not Hikaru. Well, okay. Jade, Ryan, hug. If you ever get a chance to meet them, give them a safe hug once you get permission to. I know.
Yep.
Social distancing. Yep. And yeah, they worked really hard. They are the stars. And wait a minute. No, it wasn't. We're missing someone.
Oh.
No, we are missing the turbo lead. Iger. Oh no. No. Stahl. No. Lauren Stahl. Laura Stahl. I'm just repeating it over and over. Laura Stahl. Iger. Yes. Hug. Oh yeah, I know. Okay. So, Billy Kometz, voice for Fubuki, I believe, in Turbo. And the thing is that he's not with us anymore.
Yeah.
So I want to say that if you can find his guest book, hopefully we can find it. We give a virtual hug to his friends and loved ones who will be reading these messages, because they'll be thinking about him a lot, and I think that would be good.
Yes, I agree.
That sounds really silly. I hope they don't mind. I'm trying to remember. Are you the one who bought stickers for me?
Yes, a long time ago. I was kind of a different person back then with my channel. I was just doing unboxings, but then I developed, the character a little bit. It's fun. Aww. It's been fun.
Yay!
I have your autograph right here.
I know.
Can't really show you on camera, but
right here. I can hear it a little bit
Yep.
in the microphone. Do you have like a shop?
Yep.
Like on my store and it used to be on a different site, of course, because I was jumping on many different store platforms to see what worked for me. But yeah, the thing is sort of like the stickers are a limited run. Once they're gone, I don't plan on making more of them.
Do you still have some stickers and limited edition merch on there?
I still do.
All right, we'll put that in the description and the comments too.
And let me see, store envy. Yay. Let me see. I also have a new print. Let's see. like right here in Star NB, I still have like the discontinued prints, and it's bundled with the sticker too. And you can also get the stickers individually. And there's also a Vault print. And you might also see you probably can see it too. There's also a picture of Valt sharing a Beyblade to Coco. Well, a bunch of other characters I voice are like, "Yo, look, it's a Beyblade."
Autographed Pokemon cards. It just oh, I see. That is very cool. Because of
Yeah, because if you watch the movie, Coco's is rude. Coco's clearly as rude.
I'm not sure why my character. You see how he has his mouth open when I look to the right? I'm not sure why he's doing that.
No. Okay, bye-bye.
I can't wave, but I'm waving in real life.
Okay.
I need hand trackers. Right, see
hand
ya.
trackers. Okay.